Hey everybody, how are you today? I just wanted to say hi and thank you guys ahead of time. Today's my birthday. Like I never ever even talk about my birthday for just, I don't know. I love to celebrate other people, but then, I don't celebrate myself. But I want to tell you, first of all, I did a fundraiser and for St. Jude Hospital because Facebook popped it up. And I thought, okay, $200, I would be blowing the doors. And we're almost to $500 on that. So for those of you who have donated that I know and that I love, and some of you I don't even know, thank you. I mean, thank you, thank you. It means so much to me. Um, and I want to I want to tell you guys what I'm doing for my birthday and the decision that I've made. And I want you guys to join me for the next 365 days. So those of you who follow this, follow me and follow our Facebook page, you know that I've been in Orlando at what I think is absolutely the best conference I've ever been to and spoke at in my entire life. And it was put on by my very dear friend, Glenn Lundy, Sean Hayes, and Dave Benson. And Glenn runs Dan Cummins Chevrolet and Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram out in Paris, Kentucky. And Sean is a sales manager there. And Dave Benson is just a trainer extraordinaire from Australia, lives in, I think, Bali now, just some of the coolest people I've ever met. But I saw a movement take place like I've never seen before in my life. And it was unbelievable. Like I speak at hundreds of conferences. I travel all over the world. You guys know that. And I've never, ever felt an audience like I felt this audience. And you know why? Because it was people that came together, they've joined the movement that Sean and Glenn and Dave have started. And everybody came together and everybody was on an equal playing field. And Glenn Lundy called me this morning and we were just kind of doing a recap. I was on the plane, or I don't know, I was getting off the plane. No, I just gotten off the plane. That's what it was. And it was crazy. And I said, so many times when I speak at conferences, Glenn, I speak at conferences of my peers, so it's typically people in an executive position or a national sales team. I don't get the chance to join and lock arms with people from every level of the industry. We had people there, lots of people that saved their money all year to come, or for 6 months, because they sell cars for a living. And you know how I feel about car salesmen. I love them. They are the backbone of our industry. And without those men and women outside every single day, talking to people, braving the hot, braving the cold, working holidays, working nights, giving up weekends with their family, our automotive industry would not be what it is in this country. And in my opinion, they are usually the least respected. They're treated the most poorly by management in so many stores. And one of the reasons I connected with Glenn Lundy and the whole team at Dan Cummins Chevrolet is because they want to eradicate the bullies from the leadership in auto dealerships. And they want to eradicate bullies around the world. And they want to make this a great industry that's friendly to women, minorities, and millennials. Oh, they sing my praises, right? That's what I wanted. That's what I did back in 2011 and in 2012. And when I brought on that young sales team that broke the world sales record. And, we were just a band of really different people that had a big heart and a mission. And, we wanted to show the world what we could do. And I saw it all over again in Orlando. And I have never enjoyed so much having 3 hours of sleep. And it wasn't because there was wild hanging off the ceiling rafter parties. It was because it was masterminds. It was us sitting around. And some of us older ones, and as of today, and thank you everybody for all the sweet birthday wishes, I am 1 year older, but you know what? I'm 1 year wiser too. And I think after you see how hoarse I am? That's because I've been talking for 3 days. And I think after you hit a certain age, you just have you've got a social responsibility to pour back into the young ones. And some of them weren't so young. And I met people that I've been Facebook friends with for years, people that are in my big sellers mastermind group, Rick and Laura Berman, who I absolutely obsessed with. I love them. They're just wonderful people, but all these car salesmen, because I told them, I said, I started out as a car salesman. If I can do it, you can do it, right? That's my story. But and my keynote was on the art of the big sell. So the art of the big sell is really a micro movement. It is how to take your big idea, how to take that one thing that you do, that you believe, and how to build a business and a strategy around it that'll galvanize your customers to buy your products without you ever having to sell them. Not going to go into that today, but to get into that mindset, the system behind the big sell, which is the book, is fierce. And it's to be unapologetically fierce 365 days a year. End of story. Like, fierce can never let down. F in fierce is for fearless. It isn't to be fearless, because fearless is reckless. It is to fear less. It is to do one thing today that you wouldn't have done yesterday, to take a chance, to go out there and make something happen, make a phone call. I won't even tell you guys about the meeting I was in yesterday with the former president of Rolls-Royce. True dat. So it's making those phone calls sometimes. It's prospecting. It's whatever it is. I mean, that's what I talk about on big sellers. But there's fear behind that, because none of us want to be rejected. The I in fierce is you got to take initiative. I use it a couple ways. You have to take initiative, and you've got to have imagination, right? In today's world, today's business world, when you're trying to build a brand or you're trying to build an empire, the art of the big sell is about stop selling and start mobilizing. None of us have enough money in a very crowded world to advertise our products or services. You're better off having 500 raving fans, like what I saw in Orlando, than 5,000 people you're spending a ton of money to market to. The E is that you've got to have enthusiasm, and you've got to be engaged. The E in fierce. See, fierce. How about the diamond shirts, girls, by the way? They're coming. I just had to order a couple for me to make sure I loved them, and I do. So the E is for engagement and enthusiasm. Like, you've got to be engaged. You've got to be like right here with your customers, with your people, with your tribe. Like, you have got to care more about what they're saying than what you're thinking you're saying, right? That's what engagement is. It's that what you say matters. I'm like, what is R? I've got to spell fierce out. I am tired. There's no doubt about it. R is for relentless. When you are unapologetically fierce, when you're out building a movement, when you're out building a business or building an empire, building a career, building whatever it is that you're out there to build, out there to save the world, you've got to be relentless. And the C in fierce is you've got to crush approval addiction. And I talked about that from the stage. And I said, there are people out there in this audience that you don't like me. And back in the day, that would have really bothered me. There's people on this broadcast right now that probably don't like me either. And, but I made the decision a long time ago that, I'm going to crush approval addiction. I know who my people are. I will kill for you. And I know that you'll kill for me. But we spend so much time trying to make sure other people like us that we lose our vision. We lose our way. We lose the intensity that it takes to be unapologetically fierce. So the C in fierce is you've got to crush approval addiction. And then E, and I closed my keynote with this, is that you got to execute. So you can have all the factors. You can be fearless. You can take initiative. You can have enthusiasm. You can engage. You can crush approval addiction. You can be relentless. But if you don't get off the couch and you don't engage, you don't pick up that phone and set the appointment, you don't go out and see people, you don't go out and make stuff happen for you, your business, your movement, your life, whatever it may take, then you're never going to go anywhere. So I closed my keynote with yesterday, E is for execute. And if you don't execute, you suck. Seriously. And I was like, okay, they all jumped to their feet. So that was a good closing, especially for a bunch of people in the automotive industry. See, every one of those 500 people in that room, they executed. They saved their money. They came. They spent a lot of money to be there, to meet people and to take their careers to the next level. I was just so inspired about them. But I'd made the decision about 3 months ago, as we're going through and we're getting ready to launch Fierce, is that I was going to do a daily show about Fierce. And it's just my journey. It's only going to be 15 minutes, y'all. It's going to be at 6:45 Central Standard Time, AM, 7:45 AM Eastern Time. And then if you're really ambitious, if you're on the West Coast, then it's going to be at 4:45. So you may have to catch the replays on those, and I'll totally understand. They're going to come off of my business page. And so not off of my personal page. So I've put that link on there, but we will, for a while at least, we'll be sharing them into that. And I hope that we're working on content calendars now, but I'm starting tomorrow morning. And, it's just 15 minutes of Fierce. I'll have some people on there. We're still doing the big seller shows, which are really business experts that come on. But I want to take you on a 365-day journey with me about being unapologetically fierce. I've got big goals for 2019. 2018 was the year of my dreams, my absolute year of my dreams. So many, I can't even tell you. But those of you who are members of my Big Sellers Club, it wasn't an easy journey. I'm always on an airplane and I've got a suitcase in my hand, right? Building a brand, building a movement, doing what I do doesn't just happen sitting at home. You don't build a fan base. You don't build an audience. You don't build people who buy your books or put you on TV. None of that if you're not on the road and you're out meeting people. And, you know, and I don't think I would have the energy to do it if I wasn't meeting people and being energized by them and them telling me, hey, what you say matters to me. You know, I had dinner, or I had a gentleman last night come up to my table and he said, I'm here because my wife told me to come. She follows you. She's a school teacher. He's in the car business. And she said, I don't think it's appropriate for me to come. I'm not in the car business, but I think you should go. And it was so amazing to me. It's like, it just makes me know that what I do matters and what you guys do matters. So I want to wrap up with thank you for all the sweet birthday wishes and pictures and cards. And there's so many of you that I could thank that you guys inspire me to my very core. To all my automotive friends and besties who, you know, you guys have just taken this journey with me the last 2.5 years. You've supported me. You've put me on your stages. You've bought my books. You've bought my stuff. I mean, thank you for that, I might say. Lots of people out of the automotive industry. But, you know, being able to do what I love every single day and build a life, I'm going to take you along that journey also. So we're starting tomorrow morning at 6:45. Get a notebook. I've got pretty strong content. I've got the first 60 days planned out, and we'll just continue to plan it 30 days at a time. Ask questions, you know, leave me questions. I'm going to figure out some sort of forum for it where you guys can leave questions and I can answer them. So I'm going to jump on here and see who's on here right now and just thank you guys. I see my good friend Dan Moore, who I'll see again in Las Vegas. Michelle, okay, we are praying for all you guys out there. You know, I'm seeing all over Facebook, a bunch of my friends got caught in Orlando or in North Carolina with flight delays because of Hurricane Michael. So my thoughts and prayers are with everybody, you know, in Panama City and North Carolina and sitting along those coasts. I mean, hell hath no fury, right, than Mother Nature. So our thoughts and prayers are with you, and to all my friends that are trying to travel out of Florida right now and get home to their families. I wish all of you safe travels. Dave, how are you? Nigel, James, Sean Thomas, Rick Berman. Hey, Rick, I mentioned you. Oh, I didn't bring your book in here. I'm going to talk about your book tomorrow in Big Sellers. Robert Crowley, Robert Wilson, yes. John, how are you? Thank you for all the happy birthday. Sandy, it was life-changing. I'm so grateful I was there. Yeah, Sandy, it was great to see you and to meet you. It was life-changing. I mean, there was not a bad speaker. There was not a bad story. There was not something that everybody said something that hit me to my core. Everybody said something that I knew I would take away and I would repurpose it for what I do. And I hope all of you who were there do the same thing. And that's what I want my daily show to be about. And I'll tell you guys, I've really struggled because, you know, they really want me to have a daily show versus a once a week show. And I'm like, what am I going to talk about every single day? I'm just like, ugh, you know, I mean, in all transparency, those of you who know me know, I'm just going to say it like it is. And then it hit me a couple days ago. And I'm like, because I said, this is going to be the year. This is going to be the big year. I mean, huge with the things I've got working. And, but it's like every single day, you know, I've got to commit more time to it. Someone asked me last night at dinner, they said, what is the number one thing, Lisa, you would tell me to do to be more successful? And I said, get up earlier in the morning. Get up earlier in the morning. I'm up at 5 just about every morning now. And I used to go to Orange Theory like at 8:45 in the morning. Now I go to the 7:30 class, right? And so I'm just moving my day to earlier and earlier and earlier because you get more stuff done. And for me personally, my mind is just clearer and I'm not distracted yet. And I haven't been pulled off on 14 different directions. So get up earlier. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to get up early, and I'll probably look like this most days when I do that show because I don't fully get ready at that time in the morning, because at 6:45 a.m. I'm going to be, you know, having my coffee and then getting ready to go work out. But that's the time that I think I'll be the freshest and clearest to be able to talk to you guys and talk about being fierce. But, you know, so and I thought, okay, so I'm up there on stages, I'm all around everywhere talking about being fierce 365. And it just hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm like, duh, that's the show. That's the daily show where we talk every single day about another way to be fierce today, or something that I'm going to do to be fierce. And I'm going to take you on that journey. And Fierce will be probably the next book after Big Sell goes out. And it'll be like a 365-day journal of what you've got to do. Because you see, you cannot reach your potential if you're fierce 360 days a year, because the 5 days that you lay down is going to be the 5 days that somebody else comes in. They come in and they take your customer. They come in and they weasel in on your business. They come in, whatever it may be. I mean, I'm always on, and those of you who know me know that. I'm on from the time I wake up in the morning to the time I go to bed at night, because I know that the game that I play is very, very competitive. My business is beyond competitive. And I love it, and I love what I do, but I know I better be unapologetically fierce 365 days a year. So that's where all of the fierce stuff came from. It's actually the system behind the big sell. The big sell is the big idea. It's getting you guys into the thought process of doing what Lundy and Sean Hayes and Dave Benson did. They started a movement. Sean Hayes did it as a car salesman. People thought he was crazy, out on the back lot doing videos of himself, telling his life story, talking about what he does and why he does it. People are like, bro, how are you going to sell cars doing that? It's worked out okay for him, right? But it's a 365-day-a-year commitment. And so that's the commitment I'm making to myself. So I thought, well, what the heck? I'm going to take my people, my tribe, along that journey with me. The next 365 days. I'm not going to run it off of this Facebook page, though. I'm going to run it off of my fan page. So that's why I put the link in there, you know, and we'll share it over here for a little while until you guys get used to it. So please, 6:45 every single morning. Who else is out there? Robert Cardosi. Oh, I'm going to have those go out today. Big sellers, right? My big sellers. So tomorrow at 4:30 Central Standard Time, I'm going to have my dear friend and automotive rock star, Robert Cardosi, on my show, and we're going to talk about what it is to bring a brand back to America and rebuild a team. And they finished like number 6 in the country or 7 in the country last month for Mitsubishi. It's a very big accomplishment. Big congratulations. Friday, I'm going to have Alex Flores from Capital Chevrolet on my show, and I'm super excited about that. Alex is the #1 Chevy dealer in Texas, I believe. Anyways, but he's in it every single day to win it. And that's what Big Sellers is about, is to, you know, bring other people in and talk about their success. The morning show with Fierce is really about strategy. It's like, what are you going to do today? I'm going to lay out what I'm going to do in a day, and I'm going to give you guys some ideas too about what you can do every single day to be fierce. And I want it to be interactive. And so, yeah, and I also wanted to make sure that I didn't be on at the same time as some of my other friends' morning shows like Mondays and stuff. So, all right, who else is on there? Revy, how are you, sweetheart? Rudy T, better known as El Patron. I know him now as Rudy T, and I like Rudy T very much. I will say that. Hi, Sean Thomas. How are you? I will be seeing you in Las Vegas too. Sean's got, of course, Ask a Millionaire. He's got about 1.2 million followers on Instagram. He's a very good friend of mine, and I have the honor to be a mentor in his Most Won't, I Will tribe. Good stuff, good people. Bruce Keith, how are you? Thank you. Sean Salisbury. Robert, happy birthday. Thank you, Robert. Robert's been my friend for 28 years, and his wife has done my hair for 128 years. She's the best. Linda Lattimore, how are you? Dodge, Mike Sasser, happy birthday to you, my friend. I know your birthday was yesterday. I think yesterday, and Dana's was the day before, and I kind of remember that. Eric Ken Walls is in the house. Hello, my dear friend. Thank you for all you do for me. I'm so grateful. Very grateful. Adam Aarons, congratulations on your 1 millionth Best Workplace Award out there with all my friends at Patriot Subaru. I love this guy. I met him in, I think, 2012. We were standing on the stage next to each other with Automotive News. He was #1 and I was #6 in the country, but that's okay. I made a really good friend that night, and he's been my friend ever since. Dan Moore, he never pegged me as a competitive person. Yeah. And Carrie Reese, hello, my sweet friend. Heather, how are you? Anyways, you guys, thank you again. You've made me feel so special. I think the thing I'm most grateful for is all the donations to St. Jude Children's Hospital. So if you've got extra $5 or $10 and you want to donate it, just, you know, I love them, and I've known some people that have gone to St. Jude's, and I think that they're good people that do good work. And anyways, so can I get a hell yes from those people? Oh, not a micro movement. Think bigger. Happy birthday. Yes. So Barry, what I meant by the big sell as a micro movement is, yeah, the big sell. The book is about building for individuals to build a movement, so then they can build their business and their empire. No, the big sell is a big mindset. but it's really getting people into the mindset that movements now, they aren't just cause-based, right? There's been a lot of movements out there, and let's face it, movements get stuff done. Movements incite change. And so I think movements are good. But one of the things that I talk about, and I talked about yesterday or 2 days ago in Orlando, is the fact that anybody in that room can build a movement. If there's something that you're passionate about, there's something that you can engage your customers in, if there's something that your business can do to make the world a better place, everybody can start a movement. And so we will spend a lot of time on the big sell during my show, the morning show, that is. El Patron, what a nice guy. I'll tell you, he and I had a good talk, Rudy T. So he's the general manager for Brooklyn Mitsubishi. And, that's a tough gig in Brooklyn. It really is. And Mitsubishi is it's a tough brand. It's not tough. It's just re-emerging, right? And there's a lot of competition in the space. But he and I had a really good talk about his market and what's going on in Brooklyn and what it's going to take to help him sell more cars, right? I mean, we want to help everybody sell more cars and be more successful. At least that's always my thing. Daryl Calhoun, how are you? All right, guys. I'm going to go to dinner tonight. Hi, Glenn Lundy. How are you? I am your biggest fan and your best friend. You know that. Like, I'm going to take that best friend role. Your best friend in Texas. And I know you just got on, but I told everybody, you have got the heart of a lion, and you're the most genuine, authentic person I've ever met. And you are all about the empowerment of the people and to eradicate, and I mean eradicate, the bullies in the automotive industry. And to make it a good place and just a good career path for people, that they can work for people like you and Josh Cummins and have an amazing career, have an amazing work experience. I mean, I love Josh Cummins, who is Lundy's boss. I've spent a lot of time with him over the last couple of days, and he is a great leader and the heart of a giant. Also, I'll tell you that Dan Cummins organization, it is second to none. There's nothing like it out there. I got to see my good friend Scott Simons and Brian Benstock and just all of them. I start naming people, I'm going to get in trouble because I'm going to forget people. But anyways, guys, tomorrow morning, 6:45 Central Standard Time, 7:45 Eastern Time, we're going to start day one of Be Fierce, Unapologetically Fierce, Fierce 365. And we're going to talk about it every day, what it's going to take to be fierce. And I'm going to really challenge those of you who follow the show. I want you to think about, what are your goals in the next 12 months? What is it that you want to look up in 12 months and you've accomplished, either personally or professionally? And I'm really going to challenge you to do it. That's what I'm going to do. So I may have one person on the show with me, who knows? But that's okay, because I have to do the work anyways, because I've got huge goals. I've got huge deals I've put together and huge goals, and it's going to take a huge momentum for me personally just to be able to manage everything that I've got going on. And so I've got to be really sharp, really clear, really focused. And I'm going to take all of you along on that journey with me. So anyways, Fierce 365 with Lisa Copeland starts tomorrow morning. Thank you again for all the birthday wishes and texts. And I don't know. It's a good life, isn't it? And I'm so grateful for social media. People are like, oh, people think they're so cool on social media, and it's like, I don't think it's cool. I think I'm so grateful. And all the people that came up to me and talked to me at this event, because we're Facebook friends, and like putting a face with a name and just the nice things they say. And, I don't think there's anything fake about it. I think if you genuinely engage with people and you genuinely want to build community, there really is no better way than a social media platform. So I love it. I spend a lot of time on it, and I just feel like I get to talk to a lot of people. Hi, Joe Healy. Thank you for the happy birthday. Can I get thumbs up here if we like girls, ladies? I don't think any of my guy friends are going to like this, but the Fierce, look at these things. Bling, bling. Fierce 365 shirts. Aren't they cute? I'm also going to have ones that say hashtag BE, hashtag BeFierce365. And then here's the hats. Kind of liking that fear. I haven't been excited about marketing stuff because, they always want me to bring stuff to these conferences. since we did Crushing It back in, back in the day. And we still have Crushing It stuff because I still love Crushing It too. So anyways, all right, everybody, I'm going to buzz out now. And thank you again. I'm so grateful for all of you. And I'm anxious for those of you who want to commit to take the journey with me starting tomorrow to be unapologetically fierce 365 days a year. Hashtag no excuses. I'll see you tomorrow morning, and then tomorrow afternoon with Robert Cardosi, and Friday afternoon at 4:30 Central Standard Time with Alex Flores from Capital Chevrolet. So anyways, bye y'all.